KXRN LP,
Laguna Niguel, Laguna Beach.
Member supported.
KXFM on 104.7.
KXFM Radio.
Here on Wake Up Laguna. So happy to be here. This is my first show of this. I have been here. You may know me as Rick J on Under the Covers Radio on Friday afternoons, which I love doing. So I've been here on the air for a little over 18 months and loving every minute of it. This is a new direction for me, and I'm excited about it. I'm excited about the show. I'll be here every Wednesday morning from 7 to 9, waking up Laguna, and hopefully the outer world that's listening as well, since we are streaming. So I think we're going to have just a terrific show. I've got a lot of different things planned over the 2 hours. I've got a very special guest coming in at 8 o'clock, a little after 8 o'clock, Anjie Hipple. Anjie is one of my spiritual teachers and very special lady and great story, and I think she's going to have a lot of really cool things to share with you guys. So a little bit about me that you may or may not know. I spent most of my life in the corporate world, in business, either in marketing and sales positions or consulting positions. And about 20 years ago, I went through a life-changing event, and that was a divorce. And during that time period, I really, I don't know that I guess I was struggling. That's probably the appropriate word. But I had a sense that there really was just something else out there, something else that needed to be discovered, something that needed to be uncovered in my life, definitely. And so I started seeking, and I think you heard the opening song to my show, "The Seeker" by The Who. And I love the lyrics of that particular song. They call me the seeker. I've been searching low and high. I won't get to what I'm after till the day I die. And hopefully I will get to what I'm after, and I believe that I'm on the path to get to what I'm after, and I feel in many ways that that I've already gotten that way, and I don't have to wait until the day I die, although I know that's going to be a glorious awakening at that point as well. But so on this path over the last 20 years, I've really been searching, discovering. I've been looking and learning. I've read a lot of different books. I've spent time with a number of what I would call spiritual teachers, and really, I think, came to the point in my life where I knew that there definitely was something more, and I was definitely on the road to discovering it. And I feel, especially in the last 6 months here, that certain doors have opened for me, and have put me in a position to where I want to share. I think the best way to describe it is I want to share my light. I want to share my light with those around me. I want to share my light with those that are open and receptive to it. And just for point of clarification for my listeners, from a spiritual standpoint, I am. This is not from a religious point of view at all. It's from a spiritual point of view, from a whatever you want to call your higher power, God, source, whatever you identify with. That's what I'm talking about, and awakening to that. Thus, Wake Up Laguna. Awakening to that really is really coming into your truth and understanding your truth and who you really are, and your relationship with that higher power, that source, that universal energy, that oneness that's really out there for all of us. It's really not out there. Let me reel that back in. It's within us. That, I think, is probably the biggest message. It is within us. And it's that inner knowing that I came to know. And really, I'm speaking to you from my perspective and from what I know and my knowing. And that's what I'm sharing with you. And so I'll be sharing a number of different resources with you. I will be bringing on guests every week. There's a lot of local folks kind of in the space that I'm going to be bringing on. I'm very excited about. I'll talk more about that towards the end of my show, what I've got coming up next week and who I've got coming on next week for everyone. And I feel that hopefully what I can share with you will help you in some way, shape, or form, get a better understanding of who you are, what you are, and how you fit in to this life that we're all living, right? And I think that that's really what I'm here to share, and hopefully I can shed some light on that for you, answer some questions that you may have. And that's certainly where I was at. I was at that point where I had questions and I wanted some answers, and I have been able to find those answers. And so I'm here, and when I say I want to share my light, what that means is I want to be able to, for whoever wants it, some people aren't ready to want it, and they may never be, but for those that want it, to be able to share my story and my light in a way that will help you to kind of shorten that path. For me, it's been 20 years. It doesn't have to be 20 years. It really doesn't. It can be much quicker than that. And it just depends on how open you are, the openness of your heart. It has nothing to do with your mind, by the way. It's all about your heart. Your mind is a fickle, I'll call it a friend, but sometimes it's not a friend, but it is fickle. And your mind will tell you things that aren't true. Your mind will tell you things that basically just trying to protect itself. And so it's your heart. It's that heart space that I really want you to feel into. So I think before I kind of get into the show today and what I'm going to be sharing with you and what my main topics are all about, I think it would be really cool for us to just kind of settle ourselves. And the best way I have found to kind of settle and really get out of your head and just into your heart space is through meditation. So I'd love to share that with you guys. And I've got a meditation that I'm very fond of that I do quite often first thing in the morning. So my morning routine is, and I've just started this new part of my morning routine, which is journaling, but it's very specific what I do. So before I do anything in the morning, I sit down with my journal, and the first thing I do is write out everything that I'm grateful for in my life, and I write it out. It's important that you write it out, not type it out on a computer screen, but actually write it out. The act of writing is very, very powerful. So I write out what I'm grateful for. That's kind of the first step. After I've written out what I'm grateful for in my life, then I ask. I ask the universe. I ask Source. I ask for what I want in my life, what I'm looking for in my life, what I want to achieve in my life. I put that out there. Ask and ye shall receive. It's a very, very powerful process. So I kind of list out my wants. And then once that's done, I really settle in and finish up with, you could call it, I'm putting some prayers out there. I call it putting healing energy and love out there. But I do it specifically to specific people that I know are troubled or sick. I put it out to Mother Earth. I put it out to just anywhere in the world that I know is being troubled, that's what I put out there. And then I kind of just end it all with, so shall it be. And that's kind of the end of my morning journaling routine. But then I settle in with a meditation, and I'm going to share that with you right now. And if you're in a safe space, and when I say safe space, I mean not driving your car. If you're driving your car, that's cool. Just, you can still kind of just listen to this and take it in. But if you're in a safe space, kind of adjust your posture get comfortable, right? Sit with your spine upright and relaxed. And let's take a few deep breaths. Okay, just a few deep breaths, right? Just kind of take that in, filling up your abdomen, filling up your belly, exhaling slowly. Take another deep breath in through your nostrils. And as you breathe out, let your eyes gently close or just gaze softly in front of you. So as you get into that space, let go of any thoughts or stories as we kind of bring it back into the body. Feel into the soles of your feet or wherever your body makes contact with your seat. Notice any sensations, any vibration, any pressure, any tingling in your body. Feel a sense of support from the ground or seat beneath you. Now shift your attention to your thighs and feel gravity pulling you down slightly. You may remember that you're supported and safe in this moment. Now bring awareness to your shoulders. Allow a sense of relaxation and softness through your body. Bring attention to the space between your eyes and the muscles of your face and jaw. Just allowing them some kindness now. Allow them to relax. Now listen into the space around your heart. Listen deeper into the space of the heart and ask yourself, what am I needing most? See what arises. Perhaps it's a sense of calm or balance, or maybe it's growth or strength or self-trust. Perhaps it's a sense of connection. Maybe it's love. Whatever it is, allow that intention to grow in strength. Allow that intention to fill up the space of the heart. Like a golden light, let it fill up the space of the chest. Now allow that intention to find what you are most needing right now to fill up your body. Let your intention spill out beyond you. And in this next moment, offer yourself some compassion. Compassion for the challenges that you faced and continue to face. Offer yourself a sense of ease, a sense of nurturing. See whether you can begin to treat yourself like you would treat a child or a close friend who's going through a difficult moment. And in any difficult moment, asking yourself, can I simply be kind to myself right now? Even in the moment of uncertainty, pain, or discomfort, and even in the moment of fear. Now let go of that intention, come back into the body, into the environment, feeling supported by your feet on the floor or your thoughts on the chair. Now offer some gratitude to your body, sitting here, breathing, and gratitude for the community that's sitting here together, just breathing, just being with a sense of connection. When you're ready, gently open your eyes and bring some movement back into your shoulders, your fingers, in your hands, if that feels right. Very nice. Thank you for settling in with me that way and really kind of grounding the experience that we're going to have. I really, really appreciate everyone here. And let's kind of set more of the tone today in really just the topic that we're going to be on today. I'm going to be focusing on two things. It's actually one thing, but it's the power of now and the presence and power of presence. I really want to talk about both of those and about how they play into your life. Let's think about the now moment right now. In the now moment, there is no past and there is no future. I mean, if you really want a way to calm your mind, settle yourself, think about this for a moment. Imagine that you have no past and you have no future. Wow. I mean, what does your mind do with that? Nothing, right? Nothing, because you're just in this now moment. So in the now moment is reality. It's what you have right in front of you. And we spend so much time worrying about the future, about how we're going to do this or how we're going to do that or how we're going to act this way or what we're going to say to someone or how we're going to pay our bills or whatever it happens to be. We get caught up in those stories in our head. When if you can just pull yourself into the present moment, this present moment right here, right now, I would venture to say that in most cases, you're okay. You're all right. You're in a good space. Right here, right now. And you're not thinking about the past. You're not thinking about the future. But you're celebrating who you are right now in this time, in this space. All of us together. Right? It's powerful, powerful stuff. So there's two books that I want to share with you on this topic, and two of the best books I feel out there on this topic. And you may know, especially this first book, and that's The Power of Now, Eckhart Tolle. The Power of Now is truly, it was one of the first books that I read when I started my journey. When I started my journey 20 years ago. One of the first books I read. It's a powerful, powerful book. And I recommend that you get this book if you haven't already read it. And if you, like me, maybe read it a long time ago. Matter of fact, I probably read it 3 or 4 times. But I've picked it up recently again, just to kind of remind myself of what an amazing book, what an amazing story it tells, and really the deep-seated information that it's providing. And I'm going to share just a couple of my favorite quotes from the book that I think really certainly resonate with me and hopefully resonate with you as well. So, life is now. There was never a time when your life was not now, nor will there ever be. Think about that for a moment. Life is now, right? Life is always in the present moment. It's not in the past, not in the future. Our mind tries to pull us either backwards or forwards a lot, but life is now. The more you're focused on time, past and future, the more you miss the now, the most precious thing there is. Now is the most precious thing that we have, and we should celebrate that. The primary cause of unhappiness is never the situation, but your thoughts about it, right? Your thoughts about it. That's really what causes unhappiness, are those thoughts. Whatever you think the world is withholding from you, you are withholding from the world. Wow. I love that one. Accept, then act. Whatever the present moment contains, accept it as if you had chosen it. Always work with it, not against it. Just some amazing wisdom in this book, The Power of Now. And it really is part of, certainly has been part of and is part of my library of learning on my path, on this path of spiritual awakening. Share one more with you. You find peace not by rearranging the circumstances of your life, but by realizing who you are at the deepest level, right? Being must be felt. It can't be thought. Being must be felt. It can't be thought. That's so true. That's so true. You know, I think in the world of affirmations and the thought of thoughts become things. And if you say, well, you know, Rick, I've thought positive, I think positive thoughts. Great, but do you feel those positive thoughts? Do you feel what you really want in your life? It's the feeling part. It's the feeling part that's important. It's that frequency, it's that vibration in you that brings things to you. There's only two states of being, okay? Two states of being. Primal states and powerful states. What are primal states? Primal states are fear, anger, anxiety, doubt, right? You get it. It's all those negative thoughts, negative feelings, primal states. Powerful states, love, joy, gratitude, powerful states. Now, I don't know you, but I can speak from my own perspective and the perspective of during the course of your day, how often are you, and by the way, you're in one state or the other, you can't be in both at the same time. I think that makes sense, right? You can't be angry and loving all at the same moment, right? Or fearful and joyful all at the same moment. But during the course of your day, what percentage of time would you guess, that you are in a primal state versus a powerful state? I'll tell you from my perspective over this past, 20 years, I certainly, especially in the first part of that timeline, have spent, I don't know, probably 70% of my day in a primal state, maybe even more than that. 80% of my day in a primal state, 20% maybe in a powerful state. But I can tell you what this journey has done for me is put me into a place where I can honestly say now, here, today, tomorrow, although there is only today, that I probably experience the opposite of that. 80% of my time is in a powerful state. At least 80% of my time is in a powerful state. Isn't that amazing? 20% of my time, primal. I still slip back every now and then. Usually it's anger for me. There's a trigger, which means that's an area that I still have work to do, that I still have to dive into, that I still have to feel, that I still have to heal. But I would say, honestly, for me, 80% of the time is in a powerful state, is in a state of joy, in a state of peace, love, excitement. And it's wondrous. It really is. It's just a wondrous way to be. So, kind of an exercise for you. Think about it during the course of your day today. Think about that for a minute. Think about, am I in a primal state right now, or am I in a powerful state? Because just you catching it, just you realizing it, is a massive step in the right direction of you reclaiming your power. You reclaiming your power, your inner being, your higher self. So think about it today as you kind of go through your day, experiencing your life, being around others, and actually feel it. What does it feel like to be in a primal state? Doesn't feel good, does it? Doesn't feel good to have fear, anger, depression, disappointment, right? But how great does it feel to be joyful in a loving space? That feels great. That's a great feeling. Feeling of peace, right? Feeling of peace. So the other book that I wanted to share with you today is a book called The Presence Process, A Journey into Present Moment Awareness. And this is a book written by Michael Brown, brilliant guy. And it's just what it says. It's a present process. It really takes you through kind of step by step through how to gain more present moment awareness in your life, the now, right? So sharing a couple of my favorite moments of that book with you. So the quality of our life is directly proportional to the amount of unresolved emotional charge we carry, okay? Now, this emphasizes the importance of addressing and integrating unresolved emotions to improve the quality of your life. That's part of this process. It's what you learn with this book. This is a kind of book, by the way, that you really, at least I did, you've got to go through it 2 or 3 times for it to really sink in and really start to have a impact. And it's all positive, by the way, impact on your life. This is a big one. This is one that really, really changed things for me in understanding. What we resist persists. What we accept transforms. Okay? So what this does is this encourages acceptance as a pathway to transformation and healing rather than resisting emotions or situations. So think about that. What do you resist? What do you resist? And think about the more you resist it, the more it probably presents itself as your reality. And when I say accept, acceptance to a large degree is also surrender. It's surrender. It's just surrender into an outcome, surrender into what is, and not resisting that. You know, I'll give you an example. If you're doing some kind of goal setting, you're setting a goal, something you want to achieve in your life, right? And you really are focused on that, which is great. And you're bringing up your energy, you're bringing up your vibration, really, and it's all about achieving that. But the best thing you could do, once you've set that goal and you've got your energy level up, is to let it go. Just let it go. And accept whatever will be, will be. Seriously. And it's hard. It's hard to do because you think, well, wait a minute. I really want that. And I really want it this way. See, that's the mistake that I made. I wanted a certain way. And the universe will almost always deliver what you're asking for. But at the same time, it's going to deliver what vibrationally, what you're putting out there as a way of delivering. So let's say, for instance, I want more money. I want more money because I don't have enough money. I don't have enough to pay all my bills. I don't have any money at the end of the month, but I want more money. It's the what you don't have part, that feeling that you're generating along with the want of money, that usually is what you end up getting more of. And it's tough. It's hard. It's hard to let that go. But it's that letting go. It's the acceptance of what is that absolutely transforms. And then I think maybe just one more piece from Michael's book, The Present Process. So we cannot love or be loved while we're holding on to our pain. Wow. We cannot love or be loved while we're holding on to our pain. So what he's really doing here is he's highlighting the need for releasing pain to open ourselves to love and connection, right? Open ourselves to love and connection. We need to love ourselves before we can love others. We need to love ourselves before we can love others. I love that. And that's part of the presence process. That's part of the process that Michael takes us through in this amazing book. And I'll leave this kind of as a final quote from the book. It's not about fixing ourselves. It's about accepting ourselves completely. It's about accepting ourselves completely. So he's reminding us that the journey of healing is about embracing all parts of ourselves rather than striving for perfection. Just love yourself. Love yourself completely. Good, bad, the indifferent. Just love yourself. It's all great. It's all wonderful. It's all exactly the way that it's supposed to be. Two great books. And I recommend that if they aren't already in your library, that you pick them up, read them. Power of Now, Presence Process. And my recommendation would be Power of Now first. Power of Now first. Kind of get that as an anchoring understanding. And then pick up Michael's book, The Presence Process. And you're going to spend some time with the presence process because it is a process. But that's okay. It's okay. And you'll understand it as you get into it. I certainly did. I certainly did. What I'd love to do right now is just kind of share with you another meditation, if you will. This is from one of the spiritual teachers that I follow. It's a young lady by the name of Katie Horton. Beautiful soul, old soul. It's an old soul in a 20-something body, but she has got such wisdom, such great wisdom, and I want to share something with you of hers that I just find beautiful. And again, this is one of those things where if you're in a safe space, just kind of, close your eyes, listen, breathe, settle into this. But I want to share this with you right now, and then we'll talk a little bit about spiritual teachers and the importance they can play in your life and what they can bring to you. So let's do that. Let me get this started for you. And again, just put yourself in a relaxing spot. If you're driving, just listen to this. Bring it into your heart. So let me share this with you, and then we'll come back. We'll come back round again.
Hello, beautiful light beings. This is a light language activation / transmission. I am in the forest / mountains of Montana, and I'm going to connect the elementals to the beings of the earth, to the trees, and to any other energies, frequencies of the light that are around me where I am right now by this beautiful lake. So I hope you enjoy. Get in a comfortable position. We're going to jump straight into it. I was hearing balance, harmony, and love. So those are some of the energies that we're going to transmute today and / send to you today. Apologies, there's lots of horseflies, so and hopefully the wind won't be too loud. But yeah, I hope you enjoy and just get comfortable, and we will transmit some frequencies to you. Tonto ke ampo koya we antakia shantiara ki ampo we antiara kia tia untoko we ampoki sintia ki antiamo koya we ampoko ante kia sante awe shontoko awe ante kia siatia ki ampoko awe antara kia awe ante kia satia ki ampoko ande awe Antia kia tia kia antoko, shonto kia tia kia tia. Sonte ampoko awe, shanti kia sante awe, antia, andere kia antia, anto shoto kia tia, anto rosawe, anti kia antai, shante kia sakia awe ampoko, unti kia sakia awe antoko awe, antaki. Imagining there's a green heart in your heart center. This green heart is connected to Mother Earth. It is also the frequency of love, and it is almost protruding out of your heart center into the space that you are in. Shontaki antia rakoya we pokri, antikia sate, andareki antia roko awe anshatia, kia siantio koko awe apoko, andea kosatia kiampoko. Shantekia taki ante sonde ampoko away. The fairies are with you. The elementals are with you. Mother Earth is with you. You are grounded into the planet. Imagining again that this green light is now going out from your heart down into your solar plexus, down into your womb space, down into your core, all the way down your legs, your shins, and all the way into your feet and into the core of the earth, anchoring you into the planet and grounding you into Mother Earth. Sontekia santea we ampoko asati, andaraki antiare kia we aptosho kontiarakia, ampoko ati. Shontikia sate anto shontekia antoko awe antoko ashati antia kakiantia. Taking a deep breath in, and as you breathe out, you ground more of this energy down into the earth. There's a large, wide cord pulling from your feet all the way down into the earth, anchoring you into Mother Earth's heart. Seeing the shape of a Merkaba at the very core of the earth that you are plugged into with this cord of light, grounding you. Sontikia satekia, tsatekia santekia, weotoko shatekia antea, ontekia sate ataki antika, shondikia sante amporo sati anti ashate ako, antekia sati. Shontoko sati akiawe, shonte ataki. starting to come back into your body, into the space. Again, remembering that you are protected by this powerful green energy of love, and this bubble will be with you the remainder of this day and this week and into the future. Coming back into your body now and into the space. Hope you enjoyed. That was so grounding for me. Yeah, sending love from Montana, sending love from this beautiful space. All the butterflies are with me as well. If you enjoyed, definitely hit the like, hit the subscribe. I have a couple more light language transmissions on the channel, so definitely go give those a view if you're interested. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next video. My love. Mwah.
Very nice. Very nice. She is just an amazing human. What a spirit that Katie has. And she's got a number of what she is calling light language transmissions. And for those of you, by the way, I should have prefaced this talking a little bit about light language. I'm throwing a lot at you today and on this show. And hopefully, it's not going to scare you off, because I think for me, light language it's beautiful. And what light language is, for those of you that have a Christian background, light language it'd be like almost like speaking in tongues, I guess. Light language here now is the language of spirit. And the people that have the ability to channel that light language, as Katie does, it's a beautiful, beautiful thing for me, at least, in how it comes across and the energy that it brings and the frequency that it brings. Very high frequency. I mean, I've listened to it and really been brought to tears many, many times. Because it generates a feeling inside you that is really indescribable, and I think it's different in everyone. But light language, and it's what's interesting to me. I don't know if you picked this up as you were listening, but it has almost a Native American sound to it, which I find very interesting. If you think about Native American languages, where did those languages come from? Because this really is a universal language that is spoken, that light language is all about. But it's beautiful. I hope that it really spoke to you and again kind of gave you this settling moment. And Katie, again, let me share something with you before I forget, and I'll share it with you before I wrap up my show today. But I'm going to have a link on my show page on kxfmradio.org, Wake Up Laguna show page. If you go there, you'll see a link, at least I think it's going to be there. I've asked for it to be there, with resources. It'll be a link to the resources page on my website. And the books that I talk about, the spiritual teachers that I talk about, like Katie, all of those links will be here for you to access whenever you want to access it, however you want to access it. They'll be there. So look for that on my show page, or you can just go to my website. It's Rick Jorgensen Awakening, rickjorgensenawakening.com. So if you go to rickjorgensenawakening.com and just click up at the top, it says resources, pretty simple. You can get those resources there as well. I also will be putting the recordings from each of my shows there on that page, and you'll also find them on my show page on the kxfmradio.org website as well. Excuse me, I got a little bit of a frog in my throat here. Hold on, let me take a drink of water. All right. And I've been not mentioning, and I know better since I've had a show here for the last 18 months, that I should be mentioning KXFM, Laguna's Community Radio, at least every 10 or 15 minutes, just so you know, what am I listening to? What station is this? Oh, it's KXFM 104.7 right here in Laguna Beach. But yes, so check that out. Check out the resources page because you'll find Katie there. You'll find my next guest who will be coming up here in about 15 minutes. You'll find Anjie Hipple, who I absolutely adore. You'll find her as well as a number of other spiritual teachers that have really helped me along this path, and I think you may resonate with as well. That's the one thing I want to say about spiritual teachers. I have, over the course of the years, looked at a ton of YouTube videos. I love YouTube. YouTube is my friend. I find great music on YouTube that I usually share on my show. I find great spiritual teachers, great content. But on the spiritual teacher side, I think, and you'll find this, certain people will resonate with you and some won't. What's important, and I think intuitively you know this, what's important is that you follow the ones that you feel into. And you'll get it right away. I mean, you'll get it right away. It'll be one of those, wow, this really speaks to me in a deep, deep way. Bookmark that one, save that one, put that one in a folder, because you're going to want to go back time and time again. I find myself doing that. Always find myself doing that. So do that for yourself. Discover. Certainly you can take a look at what I've got for you on my resource page, what I have there. Check them out. But also, and here's the great thing about YouTube, I know it's probably the algorithm, but I think it's the universe delivering to me videos that I need to see in that particular moment. And I love that. I love it. And 99.9% of the time, it's absolutely spot on. I mean, I can be watching a video that you know, maybe I've watched before, or something that's new from one of the people that I'm following, and then just video's over, and, you know, YouTube always delivers another video to you. It's like, what is it? Also, I get on my phone, I get notifications from YouTube when something new comes out that YouTube thinks, and I'm putting YouTube in quotes because I really think it's the universe, but I think the universe is delivering to me, hey, Rick, here's a message that you really need to hear, that you need to see. And what's interesting about this is that when I'm in my car before times, I like to talk about in before times, I'd listen to the radio, right? Like almost everybody does. Or I'd listen to music. Maybe I'd put a CD in, whatever. Or I'd listen to, you know, streaming channel. But for the last probably 6 months, I have not been listening to the radio most of the time. Oh, except when I want to listen to KXFM 104.7, I will tune it in. But what I've been doing is I've got like a mount for my phone on my dash, and I bring up YouTube videos. Now, I'm not watching them as I'm driving. You know, I'm not that person, but I'm listening to them. It goes through the Bluetooth setup in my car, right, in my speakers. And so I'm listening to these videos, and it's such an amazing way to put into your head, into your heart, all these positive messages that we're all looking for, all these positive messages. And it's wonderful. It really is. Absolutely wonderful. And I think it's just, again, what you consume during the course of the day. When I say consume, I mean what you listen to, what you read, is a large part of what you feel and what you think, especially what you feel. For the most part, I've turned off listening to the news. Right, I used to, that was my thing. Especially in the evening. I'd watch the news. I'd consume it, man. I'd get all wound up in it, and it'd wind me up. And that's what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to wind you up. And I'm not saying, listen, become a monk and just, ignore the world. No, you have to live in the world, but you can consume it the way that you want to consume it, always. So have that awareness. Have that awareness. And if it works for you, you don't need to watch CNN every night or MSNBC or Fox or whatever you watch. You don't need to watch that. I mean, you can watch some motivational YouTube videos. I do that at home on TV. You can watch YouTube videos on your TV. It's cool. And it's who we are, what we think, what we feel. And in looking at your path and what you are struggling with, what you would love to overcome in your life, whatever that is, whatever your struggles are, there is a path, there is a way, there are answers. But the answers usually are not going to be found in that television program, especially the news these days. Not going to be found in that television program. So just be mindful. Just be mindful of what you're putting in, what you're consuming, what you're watching, what you're listening to. It makes a difference. It really, really, really does. It makes a difference in who you are, what you are, and how you are. In 5 minutes, my phone should be ringing here with my very special guest. I'm super excited about this guest. And technically, I think I know, because I haven't done this before on my other radio show. I have not brought an outside caller in to the board so that we all can hear them and they can hear us. But I got a lesson yesterday, and I think I remember. So I'm hoping that all goes well technically. I know it will. But I'm excited about bringing this special guest to you guys. I think you're going to love her. I think you're going to find what she shares with you enlightening. And she's just got an amazing story, and I'll tell you that story when as I intro and bring her in, because I think it's really, really, really special. So I'm looking forward to that. So let me play a couple of things here real quick for you, and just to kind of get them out of the way, little housekeeping stuff here, and then we'll get back into it. So hold on here one second. Well, maybe not. Hold on one second here. Just trying to kind of see where I'm at in my process here. All right, kids. So anyway, I'm excited about bringing her in. She is on my resource list here. Matter of fact, I have one of her books sitting here on the desk in front of me. It's called The Answer to All Your Questions. How cool is that, by the way? The Answer to All Your Questions. I thought, wow, that's a brave title. Is it really? And as it turns out, it's an answer to a lot of my questions, certainly. So, and then also on my resource page, you'll find her YouTube channel. And I think you'll definitely resonate with a number of that. Yeah. So just looking for my transition point here. I think I'm going to bring something in for you guys. Yeah, let me play this for you while I'm kind of transitioning some things around here. And again, this is just some nice meditation tones that I think will bring us into the next hour. So enjoy this.
KXRN LP,
Laguna Beach.
member supported.
KXFM on 104.7.
KXFMradio.org.
This is a great way to introduce my next guest. This is Anjie Hipple you hear singing. Anjie she's a musician, she's an artist, she's a former school teacher and a mother. She was raised in a conservative Christian environment, and she kind of found herself seeking greater spiritual understanding in midlife. Sounds familiar to me. And began opening herself up to Eastern medicine and teachings. And then just a few short years ago, Anjie would never have thought channeled messages to hold any value at all. But now she set all of those roles aside to play the most important role of her life, which is as a channel for a beautiful collective of angelic beings from the fifth dimension called Judah. And I've had the pleasure of of working with Anjie, being part of Angie's programs and teachings, and also being part of the Judah family. So I'm really pleased to bring her on in this moment. So let's see if I can bring her in here. Okay. Let's see if I remember how to do this.
Hello, Rick.
Hey. There you are. It
Hi,
works,
Rick.
Anjie. How are you?
I'm so great. Hello to you and to all of Laguna Beach. Thank you for having us.
Thank you. Well, actually, we're blasting out to the world. Yes, Laguna Beach. For those people that are in Laguna Beach that tune in on the actual FM radio dial, but this is being streamed all over the place. So, but it's great. I'm so happy to have you. I know that you kind of heard the intro that I gave for you, and wanted to make sure that people understood that I have a relationship with you and with Judah, and I'm super happy about that. And
thank you.
And it just means so much to me to be able to have you on my first premiere show right here. How cool is that?
Well, it's an honor. It's an honor, and what a great way to begin any new venture in life, to have the blessing of angels. So Judah and I bless this show and everything you're going to do, and the way you're going to touch people, and just you're going to have just the right message at just the right moment for so many people. Yeah, I'm excited for you.
I appreciate that. That means a lot to me. That energy. I spent the first hour just kind of setting the stage for the new show, and I was talking about two things. I was talking about the power of now, right, and also just the power of presence, and just being present, being in that now moment. I thought it was just a great way to kind of set the stage for talking to you and spending a little bit of time with you.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, the beauty of a moment like this and a recording like this is that for someone, for maybe many people, it's just a moment in their day where they can be distracted from all the things, going on in the world or in their mind, and just come back to presence, come back to peace. That's one of the things I love about the song you just played and making these music is that they're very open and spacious. There's no real mental machinations or thoughts you can lay hold of in them. They're just musical and restful. And we all need diversions from all the, head chatter and all the other chatter going on in the world,
Absolutely.
It's great.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that I was talking about was just that, turning the TV off, right? Turning the TV. You don't have to watch the news every night,
Exactly.
I mean, that's certainly what I've done is just turn that TV off. And I've been talking about YouTube videos and just the power of YouTube delivering, at least for me, Anjie, kind of delivering what I need to see or hear in that moment, right? In that particular moment. We all know that YouTube has their algorithms built in, but I really think it's more the universe, right, and source delivering to us in that moment to say, hey, and using YouTube as a channel and a way to do that, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're infinite creator beings. So Judah's spoken about YouTube before in channeling. You know, the cool thing about YouTube and other platforms like yours is that as an infinite creator being, you get to choose what you give your attention to and add your attention and your energy to things that are life-giving and uplifting. You know, in the past, you know, when I was a kid growing up, there were 3, maybe 4 or 5 stations that you could listen to on the radio or on television.
Right.
And you just assumed that everything being handed to you was true and integrous. And there was a lot more integrity, I think, then than there is now. But, you know, now you get to design your own spiritual journey really and truly with all the offerings that are out there, and find the things that resonate for you and the things that bring that space of peace and awareness. It's beautiful.
Yeah, and I love what you just said there, that you can design your own experience with that, and you know, feed. I think I used the word consume. It's what you consume, and what you consume, right, is who and what you are, and how you think, and more importantly, how you feel. And so, right?
You are what you eat. That's what they say.
Well, yes, true. That is so true.
And spiritually speaking, it's true as well. You know, emotionally, like, you are what you eat. That when we consume a lot of negative, fear-based stuff, then it's really difficult not to feel negative and fear-based. Yeah,
certainly. And so just kind of stepping into what you are now doing and the path that you have taken. You know, I shared with folks here at the beginning of my show, those that have known me. I've had a radio show here on KXFM for about 18 months. It's a music show. It's called Under the Covers. And I play covers. I play cover songs. I play a lot of different music. And music for me has always been it's not an escape, but it's very important in my life, and I know that it's been important in your life as well. And I think there's a certain joy to music that it brings me, right? And I've had and I've joked about this over the years when someone's asked me about, you know, church or whatever, and I said, music is my church. That's my church. Yeah. And right. And so I just think that to me, that's part of the path as well. That's part of the journey. It is that music that we can have in our life. And I was so happy to share that little bit of what you've done. And I've discovered, you know, just recently on your YouTube channel, go figure, right? On your YouTube channel. That great music that you've been doing and putting out there, and I'm going to share more of that with the listeners as well. And I've got a resource page on my website, and I also have it on the on my show site on kxfmradio.org, where your channel, your YouTube channel is there for people to be able to access. So, but talk a little bit about. And again, for me, doing this show is really part of my journey in what I'm now doing. And the last video that you put out, your Sunday night video, which I absolutely love, and usually, you know, full disclosure, I'm usually not listening to it on Sunday nights. I'm usually listening to it the next morning, right? So.
Yeah, perfect.
But your message about doing what you love and really kind of, you know, following your purpose, right? And so that really spoke loudly to me, because what I've done here just in the past few weeks, and this radio show is part of that, is that I have decided to, and you and I have had this conversation about, you know, what am I really meant to do? And what my feeling was, and what I think I communicated to you was, is to share my light, right? To share my light.
Absolutely.
And so, but I thought, you know, I really want to share my light in a more profound way, in a way that I can help as many people as I possibly can. So I've created a new business for myself where I'm going to be coaching folks, spiritual coaching, mentoring, sharing what I know, what I've found out over the last 20 years of my journey. And so, I'm excited about that. And I know that, I what I wanted to have you talk maybe a little bit about, Anjie, to that point is you got to a point right in your life where you realized this is what you needed to do. You needed to share this message. That's what you were going to do. And can you talk a little bit about how that came about?
Yeah, sure. Well, I had been raised in fundamentalist Christian household from the time I was about 7 or 8, and I had some very real exchanges and experiences with the Holy Spirit, with angels during that time as a young girl. And I had just enough of these experiences. Unfortunately, I think I made a wrong correlation in my mind that these experiences were happening or a result of me going to church or doing the prescribed, religious things that were set forth for me to do. Whereas now I understand it was more in spite of those things probably. But in my mid-40s, after having lived my life in this role as a Christian wife, mother, school teacher, I was a worship leader. I led worship for large congregations that were kind of a Hillsong type variety, and loved all of that. Loved my family and community and church, but still was in a lot of inner turmoil. Had a lot of depression, anxiety. Just a lot of unanswered questions. I was a personal development, self-help junkie as well. Just read everything I could get my hands on to try to get some relief from the pain that I was in inside. And in my mid-40s, my dad died suddenly, and I just had this series of crazy, unfortunate events. My dad passed, and then his best friend and colleague began stealing from the business which had been passed to me. So that there was extortion going on. And my marriage began coming apart. I had been married 27 years to the father of my 3 beautiful children. Loved him very much, still love him. And so everything just started crumbling. But at the same time, it was almost like there's some kind of a lightness or a joy or freedom in it. I almost felt like a phoenix rising from the ashes, because I felt for the first time I gave myself permission to kind of question all the lines of thinking and perspectives that I'd bought into all my life. And it's interesting because the radio even was a show not too different from yours, Rick, was instrumental as well. I remember listening to this radio show on the way back and forth to work every day, and I knew it was something that my husband would absolutely, unequivocally disapprove of. So I felt kind of sneaky, doing it. But I began to open up to different ideas, and in the wake of that, I met my new partner now, who was the exact opposite of everything that I knew. I remember in the early days of our dating relationship, I gave him a Bible that had belonged to my father, who was a fundamentalist Baptist preacher, and I thought it was a real token of, a sincere, an intimate gift. And he just tossed it back to me and said, "I don't want that." So we just had we were really polar opposites in our perspectives and upbringing, and it was a good proving ground for me. I got a lot of my buttons pushed and a lot of them broken, and it was really a good thing. And, when we got into COVID, I was, at that point, I'd been about 4 years into just this full throttle spiritual awakening, realizing a lot of lies and misconceptions of society and the American dream and religion and all of that. And I had been voraciously reading spiritual teachings. Conversations with God by Neil Donald Walsh was real instrumental for me. A Course in Miracles, reading things by Eastern masters such as Osho and different ones. when I caught COVID in 2020, it was when it was just emerging on the news, and there was a lot of unknowns. And I did get very sick and developed long COVID, and I had a lot of complications. I was sick for 2 years. And during that time, really all I could do was just meditate a lot. And it was a really profound time of a lot of ego stripping and reevaluating my life. So it was kind of like you hear people say near-death experiencers, when they die and they pass over, they have a life review.
Sure.
It was a lot like that, except I wasn't dead. I was still alive. And so at the end of that 2 years, my husband and I, my new partner, who was my new husband, and I were watching a channeler. And channeling was this strange phenomenon to me that prior to my awakening, I would have thought it was demonic or really scary at best. And I really didn't understand it. It looked like something from The Exorcist to me. But during in my new relationship with my new partner, some of the channelers he listened to, their messages were really practical and super helpful for me. And I found profound insights from them. So I became open to watching channelers. So my husband and I were watching Wendy Kennedy one night, who channels the Pleiadians, and he said, you could do that. And I said, well, okay. It wasn't something I had ever wanted to do, but because of the season I was in, where I was willing to become open to everything and hold on to nothing. And that night, I started channeling this amazing group of angels. Their first visit was incredibly supernatural. I felt like a drill bit going through the center of my brows, right in between my two eyebrows. And I felt all this energy around my mouth, and this big, huge voice came out. And, going back to your original question, it was so magical, so beautiful. The power of the love that I felt and the joy that I felt was so unmistakable that it was just something I couldn't turn my back on. I felt like I had been given, a $10 million gift with the charge to share it in the most impactful way in the world. And so I just knew that I had to follow that path.
And so it was natural in many ways, right? And I think, with your teaching background, it's so funny. I have to share this with you. When I'm listening to or watching your videos, you still have that teacher in you. It's like you're sitting in front of your elementary school class in the way that you deliver, and I find it. I love it. I mean, I love it. But it keeps bringing me back to thinking, yeah, she's sitting in front of her kids right now, and she's just telling us, here's what's going on, right?
Yeah, and just keeping it simple, right?
Yes.
I think that sometimes the lingo and the language and the kind of subculture that develops around spirituality, be it, in Catholicism or Christianity or in the New Age culture or the Wiccan culture, there can grow around it, like I said, this package that makes it complex, and it's it gives people the feeling that they don't get it or that they're on the outside, and so I've really wanted to do just the opposite. I've wanted to make on-ramps for people to spirituality in a way that they can have their own path that makes sense for them, and it's easy and doable and understandable rather than prohibitive because of lingo and subculture and language.
I love what you just said, on-ramps to spirituality. I mean, that's great. That's absolutely perfect. It's like, okay, I'm driving down the road. Oh, what's that on-ramp? Oh, it's on-ramp to spirituality. Cool. Let me swerve on off the road and right onto that. Yeah, I love that. That's great. And I think, that is the inspiration behind my show, and my new focus is that as well, is just trying to help people who, thus the name Wake Up Laguna. I think a lot of people think, oh, it's Rick's new morning show, Wake Up Laguna. He's probably going to be playing some great rock and roll music, and he's just going to get us all pumped up, and we're going to be jacking down the coffee. It's like, and when I came on this morning, I didn't have my usual, jack up radio voice. I, kind of just talk like this and just very mellow. And we did a meditation to kind of start things after I told my story. And I'm thinking people are going, what is wake up about this anyway? It's like, okay, well then I had to somewhat explain it. And it's thinking about your story and your divorce and how that really was kind of a moment for you, and that's my story as well, and that really is what opened up my quest, my spiritual quest, 20 plus years ago now, with my divorce, and that really is what set me on that path to discovery. And it's a road, it's a path, as you know, and it's in the last 6 months though, for me, it's been like there's been this whole new doorway opening up. And it's like, okay, Rick, you've tripped along here for the last 19 and a half years, and you're kind of getting it. And you're you intellectually, you know what it is and how it works. But we're really going to throw something at you now where you're going to absolutely feel what it's like. And that's what happened, right? And it was just this amazing moment for me where, I started connecting with, I think you and I, when we connected, and I did a session with you, and identified my angelic family, identified the eternal ones, and to be able to have a relationship now with something that's always there. It's there, right? I could feel them right now here with me. Mm-hmm. But to be able to call on that, right? To be able to call on that and to have that as a sense of comfort, strength, knowing, I think for me was so important. And it just, we were talking about, I was talking about on the show before you came on, states of being, that there's basically two states of being. There's either you're in a powerful state of being, or you're in that state of being where you're experiencing fear or anger or depression or whatever, right? And I think most of us, certainly in my life, I was in those primal states more than not, right? More often than not. And I feel that my life now has shifted in a way where I have very few of those primal states entering my feeling thought patterns during the course of a day. And most time I'm in that powerful state. I'm in a state of peace. I'm in a state of joy. I'm in a state of gratitude. I'm in a state of love. And it just feels so much better. And it's like, you want to share that, but at the same time, you want to make it for people because everybody's at a different point on the path. And I think you experience this with the Judah family. You experience this, that there are people at the front end of it who just, I don't know if this is right for me. I think it might be. It's something has drawn me to this. To people that have been around for a long time who feel like this is me, this is my community, this is who I am, this is what I am, and then everything in between, right?
Right, exactly. Yeah, in a day's time when I work with folks, I could be working with someone who's in a lot of despair, maybe suicidal, sometimes maybe a sex worker, or, people that are going through gender dysphoria, all kinds of situations. And then maybe the next call, I might have someone who's extraordinarily enlightened, maybe even standing really right on the threshold of becoming an enlightened being and living in a perfected state of being. And so the journey is valid no matter where you are when you come to the journey, it's valid for you, and what you are experiencing is important, and it's leading you to the next a place. And there is, the goal for everything we do with the Judah channel is to help people have their own real, visceral, tangible, personal experience. Because when someone tells you a thing, that's all fine. It can open up an awareness for you. But when you experience it yourself, and it is a natural phenomenon to you, then no one can take that away from you. And the first time that you feel an angel in the room, or see them flashing through the room, or hear their voice singing in your ears, once that's happened to you, you can never undo it, and it changes you forever. And this is why so many of us love listening to near-death experiences, because we get a glimpse of, there is something more on the other side, something I can't see with my eyes. There is a transformation there. There is bliss and joy and power. But we don't have to wait for a near-death experience or some, tragic kind of midlife happening. The painful things sometimes are good. They can open our eyes and get us moving in the right direction. But we don't have to wait for that either. We can really just welcome it.
Yeah.
Welcome those experiences.
Yeah, absolutely. And I want to be respectful of your time. So do you still have a couple minutes left?
I do. What do you want to do with that time?
Well, I would love to hear, and I know that the listeners would love to hear, if it's possible, from Judah.
Sure, absolutely. Mm-hmm. Hello, dear and precious ones all around the world, and especially in the beloved Laguna Beach. And we love this place. We love the warmth of it. We love the welcome of it. Hello to all of you, and welcome to the presence of Judah. We are angelic in nature. Even as we speak to you, we can enter the space where you are, wherever that space may be, and be there with you in your space and time, and envelop you with love, with joy, with understanding. We want you to know you're seen, you are heard. We want you to know that even though your physical eyes cannot see the spectrum of light in which we exist, we are here nonetheless, and we are here in support of the true you who and what you really are, that is not been told to you or served up to you in a prescripted way by life, by parents, by society, by religion, by politics. We see you in your perfected state, in the state in which you arrived in this earth, in the innocence and beauty of the precious baby that you were, that in which life had written nothing on you. Yes, we want to take you back to that innocent state of being in which nothing of life has written upon you in a way that is obscuring your purity, your beauty, your naturalness, your effervescence, your life force energy. We want to elevate your vibrational state. We want to elevate the happiness, the health, the vitality in every cell of your being. And we want to expand your understanding of life, of why you're here, of who you are, of what you have come to do here on the earth, and how your very unique skill set, your very unique set of circumstances, conditions, and experiences are the perfect filter for expression for high love and wisdom. You have access to high love and wisdom. You have access to angels. Start with a very simple practice of asking. Ask for angels. You may feel silly. You may say, well, I don't see them. I'm not sure they exist. That's okay. Go ahead and step forward with a little childlikeness and a little bit of trust. Let the window of your heart be cracked open just a little bit to let in the fresh air of angels who come from the angelic realm, from which there is a constant flow of refreshing light, vitality, joy, and hope and expectation for a future, for a bright future. We say hear, hear to Rick sharing that you choose life-giving media, which will elevate your state of being. If it makes you feel better, watch more. If it makes you feel disheartened or discouraged, turn it off. You are creating your own reality in every moment of time, and you are creating with the people, person, places, things, and ideas being presented to you. And so give your time, attention, and energy to what matters most. Only give your time, your attention, your energy to what you want to grow. Withdraw your attention from what you do not want to grow, what you want to see diminished in the earth. If you want to see crazy, defunct political strategies and persons, if you want to see that change, withdraw your attention from it. Give your attention to those who are bringing life and light into the world. You be a light. You are the light of the world. It's not just the Christ, the Buddha, Muhammad that is the light of the world. It is you. You are the light of the world, and you must hold your light high in the place in which you are. And don't let anyone snuff out the light of who you are. Take back your power from the people, places, and things you have given it to. Take it back, take it back, take it back. What is your power? It is your energy, it is your time, and it is your attention. Yes?
Thank you, Judah.
Good. Thank you, Judah.
Oh, that was, wow. It was, that was powerful. Thank you so much for sharing that. That was great. And I'm sure the listeners, matter of fact, I'm getting, my phone's blowing up with text messages. Like, wow, this is amazing. Good. So that's great. That is really special.
Good. Good. What a powerful message. I can't wait to listen back to it.
Yes. That's one of the first things I did this morning, probably even 5 minutes before my show started, is I hit the record button. So I was like, I'm not going to forget to do this because that would have been terrible. But yeah, I will have this recording available for everybody afterwards, and it'll be uploaded, and I'll send you a copy of it as well, a link to it, Angie, so that you can have it as well. But that was great. That was awesome. Thank you.
Well, big hugs to all of your listeners out there, and I know they'll keep coming back, and they can find us at thejudahchannel.com and the Judah Channel on YouTube. And for music, just search for your favorite listening service, whatever that is, the Judah Channel, and you'll find lots of good music there too.
That's awesome. Thank you so much, Angie, for sharing your time and your wisdom with us. It was truly inspirational, and you and I will be, I'm sure, speaking in the near future. But thank you again so much for joining us.
Thank you for letting us be here for this really special first episode. Thank you, Rick.
Thanks, Angie. Talk to you soon. Bye now.
Okay. Bye.
Well, wow. I did not plan on that being as powerful as it was. What an amazing person. What an amazing woman. And Judah. Judah is a very special group of angelic souls. Judah is, I think they are 400,000 strong. Which is amazing to me. I mean, it's hard to wrap my head around that, but it is angelic, and it is the universe, and it is source. So why should that boggle my mind? There is no limitation, right? So, and for Angie to have the ability to be able to channel that is a true gift. Yeah, true gift, and so. Oh, I'm still riding on the energy that was brought in. It's amazing, you know, when you're in a room with somebody that has that ability and has that power. You feel it. I mean, you can really, really feel it. And just to have her on the phone and coming through the airwaves like that, I felt it. I felt it here in the studio with me. I felt I had chills, and I know that many of you probably felt the same way. It's just such an amazing thing, and that's the joy part of doing what I do, is being able to talk to people like that, be able to interact with folks like that. And I'll have a lot more of that on my show coming up in the weeks ahead. That's what I love about doing what I'm doing, and I can't wait to be able to share that. One of the amazing people that I'm going to have on the show this next week, I believe, is a young woman that I've known for quite a while. She's a local here in Laguna Beach, and she's got a very special spiritual practice that she has here and that she shares with folks. Her name is Frances Nade, and I'm really looking forward to having Franny here in studio with us this next week, and you're going to find her amazing. She's amazing in her gifts. You can find her online, Frances Nade. If you just search that out, you'll see her website. She's got a great YouTube channel. She's Instagram channel. She's tarot card reader, Reiki healer, channeler. She's got a gift, and I'm excited to have her on the show to be able to share with you guys. And I think too, what I'll start to do is open up and be able to. I'll create some ways that you guys can interact with the studio guests, whether that's sending in messages, text messages. We do have that ability here at the station. I haven't even checked it, actually, since I've been yakking away and doing my show here. But we do have a way that you can ask questions, that you can interface with these guests, and I want you to have the ability to do that. So, yeah, wow, that was just amazing. I think what I'd like to do now is just a kind of another settling, grounding exercise with you guys. And this again will be coming from my one of my spiritual mentors, Katie Horton. I shared that earlier with you. Katie Horton's light language transmission, balance and heal the heart. I've got another one to share with you on a healing meditation that I think you'll find really really anchoring and settling. So take a deep breath, everybody, and just kind of settle in. Again, if you're in your car, keep your eyes open, but just relax into this message, relax into what Katie is going to share with you. And again, you're going to hear that light language transmission, which I love. So just let that flow over you. Let that just be part of what you are and who you are right now. And we'll come back right after this beautiful light language healing transmission from Katie.
So just tuning into your heart center, you can start to visualize that there is this rose quartz energy exuding from the center of your heart out throughout every cell of your being and out into the surroundings around you. You can imagine that this rose quartz energy is also seeping down through the core of your being, from your heart down to your solar plexus, down to your sacral, to your root, and all the way down into the core of the earth, anchoring you down into the earth. Antakia sikoya mokoya satya shikia mokoya sawe antakia shikia tasaka. Atakia we antakia moko satya shikiam tikoya samokoya we atishikiantia atakia shikin duhis mikaya wase. You are love. You are the embodiment of pure light in this very moment. Antakia sitea shikiamakoya sawiata shikamakoya we antakia we. Sintaki antokoya sakoya we antakia we ampokoya we asatia shikiantia. Antokoya ampoko asia we. You are so guided. You are the embodiment of love. Who you are at your core is love. It is not anything else but that. You are the frequency of love. You are anchoring love on this planet. That is your soul's mission. That is why you are here, to anchor the light, to anchor the love that you are, and to instill that remembrance in other people's hearts, that you are simply love. Antakia sikiantia koya mokoe, antashi antia kaya hasam koya we antaya, antakia we antia moe. Sante hawe ataki antokoya mokoya seti antia shiki mokoya sawe ataki awe antaki seti shiki antia. Again, imagining that this energy is exuding from your heart down to the earth, but even further out from your being, from your body into your surroundings, into your room, to wherever you are right now, all the way up into the sky, into the cosmos, connecting you to the infinite love that we really are at our core and all around us in this universe, in this galaxy, and on this planet. Shunta siantia mawe antia shikiantio samakia we atakia shigantio mkoya sakiantia we ata sari antio mpokoya we ataki. Santiki antia shikia mokoya satia shia. Remember your power, remember your light, remember the fact that you are a sovereign being in this life, that no one can strip you of your power, no one can strip you of the love that is anchored in your heart at all times. This is who you are at your core. No one can take that away from you. Antaki antia moko, antashia we atia mokoa, antea shiantia mokoya we, shantakia siantia mokoya sawiantia, antashi santia we. Remembering that all of your guides, your angels, source divine, your higher self, they are all with you at all times, and they are overseeing you, and they are here with you now, reminding you that you are never alone, that you are so supported on this journey, on this path, and in this life, and that at any time you can tune into your heart and you are connected to them. They are a part of you, right in your heart center, because we are all one, and so your guides are you, you are them. You are so supported by your team of angels, and by your higher self who is guiding you, because you are sovereign in this life, and your sovereignty is really what the reminder is that your guides want me to tell you, is that your higher self really is your truth, and at any moment you feel the doubt, you feel the fear, that is not love. So tuning back into that heart, into that love, is connecting you to your higher self, to your guides, to your angels, and to your highest timeline and your truth. Antashi antia mokoya saida mokoya we antia mo we asati antia shikia mokoya sia we antakia shante antaki we antaki antakoya mokoya sati. You are purity. Remember your innocence. Remember that childlike nature that is in your heart, because children are the greatest teachers in this life. They are the purest form of love. And when you remember that, you remember the inner child that is within you. You remember the love that you are. And there's nothing that can take you away from that. You are still your younger self. That pure innocence, that childlike nature and being is within you at all times. And you can tune into them at any time. Antashianti kemokuya santiawe atakia shikangya amboko asawe ayambokoya setiantia shata satakia koyawe antakia setia shiantia ambokoya we antia antae anti shante awe awe. Remember that you are love, you are pure divine light, you are pure bliss, purity. You are the most beautiful energy at your core, and nobody can take that away from you. Tuning back into that color, that rose quartz within your heart, seeing that you are not only emitting that, but you are protected by that at all times. And at any moment you can tune into this color and remember that that love frequency is guiding you throughout your life. That you are in your sovereignty, you are on your highest timeline, highest mission. It is so. It is so, it is so, it is so. Shanti akoe ataki. Shanti asianti o ampakai asiati ashikia oe. I hope you enjoyed that beautiful transmission. Like I said, if you're new to this, I know it's a little interesting, it's different, but thank you for tuning in. I'm definitely going to start to record more of these. I hope that you enjoyed so much, and remember that you are loved, and that remember to drink a lot of water, remember to protect your energy, and again, if you need, visualize that rose quartz energy emitting from you at all times, because that is love, and you are love. And anytime someone tries to strip you of your power, strip you of that energy, and instill more fear or anxiety or stress or hate onto you, you're protected with this energy. No one can take that from you. So remember that, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.
Thank you, Katie. That was awesome. She's great, folks. Obviously, I've played 2 of her light language tracks today on the show, and I did that for a reason, just because I think she can really create that connection, really create that grounding experience, and get you in a headspace that is that's positive, right? That's positive. And I think as I wrap up things, and I think about the show, and I think about that great special guest that I had, Anjie, and what she shared with us, and of course bringing Judah into the conversation as well was just so special, and being able to have her with us, I feel so blessed at this point. So I think going into this week, the rest of this week, and then into next week is, just think on a couple of things that we talked about, on being present, being in the present moment, and the power of now, and the power of that present moment. And when you find yourself in your in your head, and your head's screwing with you and telling you stuff that that isn't true, or maybe you don't know it's not true. Ground yourself and just ask yourself, or tell yourself that, number one, pretend that you have no past and you have no future. All you have is now. Your mind doesn't know what to do with that, by the way. It just, your egoic mind does not know what to do with that. And so it just stops. It literally stops. You'll have no thought at that point. And it's great. It's a wonderful feeling. It's also a great way to get into a meditative space as well, to get into a meditative space that will allow you to kind of settle and be at peace with your surrounding, be at peace with yourself. Angie's advice as well, and Judah's advice, really talking about shutting out that outside noise, the outside noise that is really bringing what is death and destruction into our homes every day, every night. And it's not that you have to close yourself off to that. It's not, I'm not saying, stick your head in the sand and be a hermit. It's simply knowing that you have a choice. You don't have to consume that. That doesn't need to be part of your life. The world will keep doing what the world does with or without you. So just understand that it's all about you. It's about your health. It's about your mental health, and that you have a choice, that you have the ability to change that at any given moment. It is a gift that you have already been given. You have that, and it's developing that inner strength to be able to kind of overcome whatever challenges you have in your life. And that's really part of what I'm doing on my show. That's part of what I'm doing now in my spiritual coaching practice as well, is just helping folks find that light. Find the light like I found my light that I'm now sharing with you. The light that I'm sharing with all of you is the light that I want to help you identify within yourselves. That's what this is all about. So I want to leave you with a couple of things. One, as a reminder, my next week's show, having local, very, very brilliant young lady, gifted young lady by the name of Frances Naude. Frances will be here in studio with us next week and sharing with you. I'm super excited about having Frances here. I think the energy is going to be amazing. I think you're going to find it amazing. So looking forward to that. And also just, I'll have this recording up as a podcast on the on my page, my kxfmradio.org station page. I'll also have a link to the resources section on my website where it will have all the links of everybody that you heard today or we talked about, the books that we talked about. That will all be there on that resource page. Or you can also just go straight to my website and find that. My website is rickjorgensenawakening.com. Rick Jorgensen, and that's S-O-N, rickjorgensenawakening.com. And you'll find the resource section. You'll see a link at the top of the page for that. So with that, set your intention this week to really be kind to yourself, to love yourself. Be in the present moment as much as you can. Be in those powerful states, the states of joy and love. Try to catch yourself when you're in those primal states that you'll find yourself in more often than not, whether it's anger, whether it's fear, anxiety, depression. And you have the ability to ground yourself in those moments and bring yourself out of that by part of it is just recognizing it. So I want to leave you with this beautiful, beautiful song by another fantastic spiritual teacher by the name of Lee Harris. So I'll leave you with this and bring you into another reality, and that other reality is the Jason Fetty Show, which is coming up at the top of the hour. So thank you so much. It's been a privilege being with you. I love you all. Looking forward to seeing you again this next week, next Wednesday morning, the same time. So with love, peace, blessings, I'm off.
But the race is over now. There's a voice in my head telling me I need to be stronger, that I must leave all my darker ways behind. Now I can leave all my darker days behind. There's a day in your life where you realize you've become stronger, when you bring to the show all the roads you've traveled